the biggest opportunity is like, why would you have a voice bot in a different platform, a chat bot in a different platform, and then you've got email in another platform, ticketing or email in one platform, and then you're doing something on social and again, another platform. If you're trying to automate that work, it seems nearly impossible that you're going to get the exact same experience across that. And so again, that's why I go back to this opportunity around a single solution around these teams. This is the vision, is it allows you to actually provide a consistent customer experience. And I think that's increasingly what businesses want. They want to know that, hey, if I have a team if I have a customer that's engaging on social, they're going to get the same answer, whether that's a human answer or an automated answer, in the same manner that it's going to come in or be answered from an email or over voice or over SMS. And we ultimately believe we're a platform that can power that and deliver that seamless experience.
Welcome to the Contact Center Gurus, the podcast for contact center and customer experience leaders. Learn best practices, new technology, tips and tricks, and more. Listen in.
Hello, everyone. This is Darren Prine with Cloud Tech Gurus. Thank you for joining the Contact Center Gurus podcast, where today our topic title is Automation and AI in Support, Keeping the Human Touch. And joining me today is Dan O'Connell. He's the CEO of Front, a customer operations platform used by more than 9,000 businesses to deliver fast, personalized service at scale. A little bit about Dan. He's a seasoned go-to-market leader. Dan began his career at Google, where he was part of the early go-to-market team. He went on to build and serve as CEO of TalkIQ, one of the first real-time speech recognition companies, which was acquired by Dialpad in 2018. At Dialpad, he served as Chief Revenue Officer and later Chief Strategy Officer and AI Officer, helping scale the company beyond $200 million in annual revenue while leading its AI product and strategy. Dan holds an undergraduate degree from Santa Clara University and an MBA from UC Berkeley's Haas School of Business. He brings expertise in GTM strategy, AI-driven product innovation, and leading teams through high-growth transitions from startup to scale-up. Welcome, Dan. Good to have you on.
Thanks for having me. I should let you do my own illustrious intro. You made me sound impressive and an illustrious intro. So I appreciate that. It was awesome. Thank you. Very kind.
Yes, you sound super important. And you are. So hopefully I did you justice there.
You did.
So
Awesome.
great to have you on. And I think this is an important topic. I think it's going to be of value to the folks that watch this podcast later. So let's kick things off.
Great.
So I've got some questions. When I look over, it's just because I'm reading my questions because I'm not smart enough to remember them all.
I doubt that.
So first question, is it truly possible to deliver personal customer service at scale? As a company's support volume grows, how can they ensure customers never feel like just another ticket number?
Yeah, absolutely. I think this is like the opportunity that presents itself like in the market today, which is, look, we've got the power of AI to go and handle, I would say, like the remedial tasks for things like digital deflection, which is something we do. And then I think the biggest thing is like, look, like people are looking for personalized service. I do think like the human element and touch is important for brands. We can't just assume that the machines are going to be able to do all of it. And there's also just complexity in tasks that show up that I don't think will be automated. And if you think about opportunities in really B2B, less so on B2C, on like retail, I think a lot of things that happen in the retail space are easier to go and fully automate. You think of shoe orders and refunds and things like that. But if you think about people that are supporting B2B software, for example, or B2B businesses, there's real complexity that shows up in trying to fully automate that. And so people do try to think about personalization and customization. I think AI will help us increasingly automate complex tasks. But I think for the next few years, we will see that, look, there's going to have to be a human element that's there, or you'll see businesses that are investing in the human element.
I agree.
We try to bring,
I
was going to say to add, like, and we try to bring that approach, which, for our own software, I think people want to have control in terms of AI. meaning
Mhm.
you don't want to just have a chatbot that's implemented and you see where it breaks down. Is you'd rather implement a chatbot that says, hey, I can go and handle these types of tasks really well, and then have a
Mhm.
chatbot that says, I can't, or a voice bot that can't handle these other things really well. And like, there's
Mhm.
no reason to actually have that deployed and have it frustrate people as you want to say, hey, it can handle these specific topics, like go and do that. And then it can't do this well, like stay away from that. Until you actually develop confidence over time. And so again, I think there's like even nuances in approaches that you'll see across kind of different businesses that are investing in AI.
Yeah. I think number one with AI, companies need to have their knowledge, have that single source of truth, a really great knowledge management system if the AI doesn't have one built in, where they have that factored and covered. And then, beyond that, yeah, I think AI should, any interaction that AI can handle, it probably should handle it because
Yep.
it handles it better and faster, and there's no queue time and no frustration like I had to deal with a big shipper yesterday for an hour.
Yeah.
I thought the whole time AI could have handled this whole interaction, had me on
Yeah.
and off the phone in 3 minutes. But
And the
nothing too complex about it, right?
Yeah,
But
and the thing I would add to, like you mentioned just briefly on like the knowledge layer, and
mhm,
a single source of truth, and I think this also creates like some opportunities where um, we're a customer operations platform. We combine like shared inbox and ticketing and chatbots to go and deflect as I say, the remedial things. And we
mhm,
believe that over time we'll be able to increasingly handle more complex tasks. Like that's obviously the opportunity
absolutely.
that's there. The nice part for us is like at the end of the day, like we started as an email platform. And so like we can
Mhm,
understand these conversations to go and actually derive answers and suggestions from those past conversations. That is the single source of truth. We don't
mhm,
need to just tie to a knowledge base to go and pull information or a help center. We can actually
mhm,
see, hey, this is what the team previously responded to a similar question. This was the
mhm,
answer that led to a good outcome, a good resolution, positive customer satisfaction. And so that's also the things that we are invested in kind of make us a little unique of like we learn from the conversations that teams are already having or have past had. If they work, we're going to leverage that as part of the knowledge base, right? Or the
mhm.
knowledge layer that's there.
To your point, what you're talking about is that knowledge evolving minute by minute, interaction by interaction,
Yeah.
which knowledge base unto itself, that's not really going to be the case usually. But in the model that you've described, and I think it would benefit our viewers if you gave us just a kind of a brief description of Front, so we know what your company does, because I know you're going to refer to them probably as examples as we move forward.
Yes. Yeah. So great. Yeah. So great. Happy to do that. Like we talk about ourselves as like a B2B customer operations platform. And really the easiest way to think about it is like we combine traditional shared inbox and help desk with also infusing it with AI. So we have a chatbot that can go handle all digital deflection across channels. And so again, like for us, we think the opportunity is look, if you're a business that's thinking about support or customer service or even account management, you shouldn't have six different platforms around how to manage that either the communication across channel, the knowledge base, the ticketing, the insights that are there. And so we put all of that together in one seamless application. We work across channels. The only thing we don't do natively is voice, but we are the inbox that your customer service and account management and support teams would use around interacting with the customers. And we can fully deflect things or we can partially automate them. And we have all of the insights that are happening from those conversations in a nutshell, kind of a little bit long winded, but to provide some
Brilliant.
clarity.
I know that I used to kind of think of you guys as a more modern AI powered version of Zendesk, but I think you've grown to beyond that description at this
Yeah,
point.
I think
And
that the
I was
market
just
work.
going to mention for people that used to, ticketing systems is what people used to say. But now these kinds of platforms have evolved to a point where there's so much more than a ticketing system that the terminology used is customer operations system, or what did you say exactly?
Yeah, so we say customer operations, and it's a platform that's designed for the support teams, and then think of customer success, account managed, client service teams. Like different organizations will call those things different. Have different nomenclature. Our direct, Competition in our space, exactly. Like we think of ourselves as next generation Zendesk in terms of who we go up and compete against. We sit side by side on the contact centers. So when I talk about us not building or us not having native voice, we have deep integrations with all of the voice providers because we know that anybody that is doing support around a customer is probably on a contact center. And then they need to have a platform to manage the communications and the work. And that's where we sit side by side. And so any of the emails that are happening with the teams, any of the ticketing, the help desk, quality assurance, the insights around customer satisfaction, that would all live natively within Front.
Awesome. So, what are the biggest challenges support teams face when collaborating behind the scenes? For example, how do you prevent situations where two agents accidentally reply to the same customer or an inquiry gets overlooked entirely?
Yeah, so I think like one of the biggest challenges, right, is like there's these silos around issues. And also just you think of like where communication breaks down internally. A lot of businesses, if they don't have this notion of a shared inbox, is basically you bring Slack on top of email. So an email comes in, if I need help with the support, I can just at mention Darren, and you and I are suddenly having a live conversation on top of that single email to help troubleshoot it or automate it. And if you think in the past without that notion, things break down. Email comes in, I don't know how to answer it. What do? I hop in Teams, I hop in Slack, I send a different email, and suddenly there's like six different threads that are going on trying to resolve that issue. So I think the beauty of us around this notion of a shared inbox is you have real time collaboration on issues. Anytime you need to loop somebody else in, you never need to forward an email or a ticket ever again. Everybody that you want involved can create drafts, can create responses, and it's all in this single platform. Like that is our DNA, and what has ultimately allowed us to grow really quickly and become a big business is this notion of collaboration around issues. In the future, that collaboration is not me at mentioning necessarily a peer to get help. It's me at mentioning, our agents, our AI agents to go and say, hey, what's the suggested response to this? Or maybe I don't know how to answer this. Can you pull information from the knowledge base? What did a past conversation, how did we answer a past customer on this? So these are all things when we think about collaboration within our platform. It's not just at mentioning peers, it will be at mentioning agentic agents.
That's cool. One of my last podcasts was basically about agents feeling like they're alone on an island. Because with remote agents, in, for example, a big BPO, that's how they feel. They're handling an interaction. They don't know the answer. They can't find a supervisor or a teammate that can help them. And they have to struggle to find the right answers to
Yeah.
resolve that issue. And what you've just described will keep that from happening. No
Yeah.
one will feel isolated.
Yeah, and the other piece I would say is like this notion of most businesses will have shared inbox, right?
Mhm,
Email distribution list is another way to think
mhm,
about it. So you have support at Cloud Tech Gurus, and so we allow multiple users on a single team to have full visibility in terms of that queue, right? That email
mhm,
inbox, and allow people to go and say like, well, this will get routed to Darren because you have expertise in this area,
mhm,
right? Or this one goes to Julie because Julie, the request is in Spanish or in a different language, whatever, and she has the expertise. So all of the routing and visibility around team inboxes is the way to think about it. We provide,
mhm,
but also we can provide Darren with the single inbox for himself to say, look, if you don't want to be in a general queue, you work
mhm,
with a specific client list of 50 customers, we can allow
mhm,
you to go and say, this is my email, my inbox specifically to handle those customer requests. So you get to marry like the
mhm.
best of both worlds.
Very cool. Um, so, with customers reaching out via email, chat, social media, and more, how can support teams avoid channel overload? What have you seen work to keep all those conversations organized and timely without burning out the team?
Yeah, visibility to look, there's increasing pressures to solve things across channels, but not just get the visibility across channels. I think of it as how do you provide a consistent experience across channels. And so one thing that's beautiful around Front is we do all digital channels. And as I said, so you have one inbox, one workflow that can give you visibility to the customer requests that are coming in on a social channel, that are coming in over SMS, that are coming in through email, and allowing to then go and route that work to the right people, whether that's to a general queue or specific individuals. The
Mhm.
piece that and I go back to like we don't do voice natively, but we have all those integrations is the same thing. It's like we're the inbox of like where all of the work is happening for these customer facing teams. And
Mhm.
so you tie in the channels, we will then disseminate the work based on rules and routing that you have into place. That
Right.
visibility ultimately allows you to then create consistent experiences. So I always talk about like the biggest opportunity is like why would you have a voice bot in a different platform, a chat bot in a different platform, and then you've got email in another platform, ticketing or email in one platform, and then you're doing something on social and again another platform. If you're trying to automate that work, it seems nearly impossible that you're going to get the exact same experience across that. And so, again, that's why I go back to this opportunity around a single solution around these teams. I'm not saying it's easy to do, but this is the vision, is it allows you to actually provide a consistent customer experience. And I think that's increasingly what businesses want. They want to know that, hey, if I have a team if I have a customer that's engaging on social, they're going to get the same answer, whether that's a human answer or an automated answer, in the same manner that it's going to come in or be answered from an email or over voice or over SMS. And we ultimately believe we're a platform that can power that and deliver that seamless experience.
Yeah, let's get away from the Frankenstein approach of just piecing together all these different siloed solutions
And
and have something that can really work.
yeah,
And in what you've just discussed, I imagine that eliminates situations where I've reached out, I have a ticket, I've reached out to support, and then I reach out again, I'm talking to a different agent.
yep,
But I don't have to repeat myself all over again from the beginning because they see my journey across any channel that I've been on, and I'm able to start where I left off before and not have to then. It's so annoying. It happens all the time. You have to,
it,
every time you get transferred to an agent, you're having to start all over again. Nothing transfers. It's so frustrating, right? And I
it
think what you're talking about is a solution for that.
It is. You see me smile and laugh because music to my ears. Exactly that. If you reach out, that agent, when they see they've got the request from Darren, if you've reached out over SMS, like you have context for that SMS conversation. If you reached out over phone, we will provide you with a copy of the phone call and the transcript that came in through, pick your telephony partner or contact center partner. And again, it allows that agent to have a seamless view of all of the customer interactions across all of the channels in a single pane. And then that pane is infused with AI to help them either automate the answer back or suggest an answer back, and then gather the insights from what's happening in those conversations to help drive better business decisions.
It sounds elegant. I love it.
We like to think I care a lot about design. And so I think, I was at Dialpad for a very long time, and I get really inspired by the business here at Front. But I care a lot about the design, the UX and UI of building software. And I think that's ultimately a differentiator for people want to use software that is seamless, that's easy, that's intuitive, also innovative and looks good. And so I
Mhm.
think we do have a really elegant, beautiful solution in software that people love. And people
Mhm.
can go check us out on like G2 Crowd. We're rated, I mean, higher than any one of our competitors. And I say that in like a friendly way across pretty much every category. And I think it really comes down to like, we do care about the experience that people have with the software and the look and feel of it.
Mhm. This isn't on my question list, but I think another part of that, now let's go back to from the agent side, is a system that's really intuitive, that doesn't require a lot of training for agents. For example, I once represented a company that built their UI to basically more or less mirror an Android or an Apple phone. So you notice with our mobile phones now, you get it. You don't have to, there's no training.
Yep.
You get the phone, it's so intuitive, you're instantly a super agent, interacting with your friends and other people across any given channel, even handling two interactions
Yeah.
at once, right? And so on that side of the house, have you more or less built out the UI so that for the agents, it's a quick onboarding, it's easy for them to use, not a lot of training?
Yeah, the nice part, and again, you see me like smile and laugh on this stuff, which is what I love, is like the beauty of it is this is like a traditional inbox, right? It's a super powered inbox that you're used to almost every day of your life, right? If you've interacted with email, you would show up and leverage front and know exactly what to do, like what is going on. And so it's just the way we have designed it's intuitive. So I hate being like comparing us to like Gmail and Outlook, but I'm like, you're used to what that experience is in terms of like where to find messages, how to search for them, how to create a message. And the cool part for us is you get that whole inbox seamless intuitive experience, but it's not just on email, it's across all of the communication channels that you want to plug into. And so if you want to, again, you want to tie in SMS, you want to tie in WhatsApp, you want to tie in social and Twitter, you can do all of that. If you just want to be email and voice, you can limit those channels to email and voice. And again, it's in this experience that I think is super intuitive for anybody that has an email address.
Yeah. And everybody should be trying to meet their customers where the
Where
customers
they
want
are.
to meet them,
Yep.
where they are, right? So WhatsApp or some other social app or wherever. Why not be there? Why not interact there? Love it. So my next question, AI and automation are hot topics in customer support. How do you use them wisely? What is the key to automating repetitive tasks or responses without making interactions feel robotic or sacrificing quality?
Yeah, so I think like we care a lot about like the control and quality piece when it comes to AI. And so like the example that I gave is like a lot of first gen and even next gen like chatbot businesses take the approach of like we can automate everything. So go and set up a chatbot or a voice bot and then basically like see in all intensive purposes like see where it breaks. So you expect it to be able to deflect or automate a lot of things. I think what people find is it breaks down, and then you have to handle an escalation or a handoff to a human agent. And then what happens is like you've already created this really frustrating customer experience, right? You've like tried to answer Darren's question, it breaks down. Darren is now pissed off, and now he's like engaging with Julie or Bob, and they're like there to save the day. And to
Yeah.
me, that's like, and us at front, like it's almost the exact backwards way to do anything. So for us, like our approach has all been around control and quality, which is you hook in your inbox, we learn from past conversations, we identify what we think we can automate, and then we say what we can't automate. And there's always confidence scores around this. So we will go and say, we think we can handle refund requests, for example, or we think we can handle updating billing information, right? Or we think we can update address change, whatever it might be. And then we're also going to tell you the things that we can't do well. And over time, those confidence levels are going to change. That approach, I would argue, probably sacrifices perhaps some revenue growth because we're not trying to automate everything out the gate. But we think
Mhm.
it delivers a better customer experience and a better quality product. And ultimately, that will lead to higher revenue. And so
Mhm.
like we're really focused on that. Don't just automate for the sake of saying you're trying to automate. We're going to say only the places we think we can do that well, and that will deliver a really positive customer experience for the business.
Yeah. Start with what you can do, and then as the system learns and as you have a better understanding of interactions and customer needs, the AI can improve and can handle more and more and more. But why
And
not
it,
start somewhere where you know you're going to start successful?
yeah, and it sounds really remedial. It sounds so basic when you said it so eloquently and nice. It is shocking to me that a lot of businesses don't approach things that way. It is literally
Mm-hmm.
stamp this up and then see where it breaks and then react to the breaking points. And I think you piss off a lot of people that are looking for, they're reaching out to you because they're frustrated. They want help. And so to me, it seems like lost time and just increasing frustration to do it the other way.
Mm-hmm. And of course, if you do it right, the impact, I mean, so we have AI handling multiple interactions,
Yeah.
right? On any interactions it's handling, it's reducing my labor costs.
Yep.
It's improving efficiency. It's improving my CSAT because I don't have queue times. It's improving the entire contact center operation.
Yep.
and the ROI is usually, ridiculously great. And so it just makes so much sense to do it and to do it right.
Yeah, it's one of the places like nice part of like building software in this space is like you have to prove ROI and people expect there to be clear ROI and quickly. And so the nice part for any of these support or service teams is like they care a lot about understanding ROI, being able to prove it. They have the metrics that they're clearly measuring, whether it's NPS, CSAT, how many ticket volume, right? And you again, resolution, if you're deflecting and resolving things, but that's negatively impacting CSAT, like you can't just automate for the sake of automating. And so
Right.
again, the nice part of doing all of this and having these insights in the platform is you can see the impact. Again, high automation helps save some dollars. Two is like, and you'll get to see, are we doing it as good as the humans or not? Perhaps there's escalations that you're like, I don't want to try to automate. It's a high value customer. I always want to make sure that they get to speak with Darren first. You have like that flexibility and control. And so
Mhm.
there's that natural tension around automation that people want with, hey, is this still providing a really valuable, unique, personalized or customized experience? So you get like this delicate balance within our platform that I think people are seeking and interested in.
Awesome. For companies still using traditional email or old school help desk systems, what do you think they might be missing out on? What can modern customer communication platforms offer that older tools cannot when it comes to delivering great support?
Yeah, I think about, I mean, again, you see me all small and laugh on this stuff. Like, I think there's like very real tech consolidation that happens for saving dollars. And I think that like
Mhm.
it's not just taking out six different Frankenstein pieces of software around the customer, which provides like a more holistic experience for your users. I think it like saves dollars for you. I think it allows you to provide like a very real, better customer experience to like meet the customer where they are on these pieces. And then I think you get into like the opportunity to deliver like truly agentic experiences to drive thoughtful automation and deliver better value. And so I think people are like made decision like right now, I think probably the vast majority of businesses should really be looking at their tech stack and saying, is this a tech stack that is going to innovate and deliver exceptional experiences that are changing over the next 2 years? I think this whole market clearly gets redefined by AI over the next 2 years. And I just push a lot on that, which is I think every business should be looking at their tech stack and saying, does it allow me to meet customers across channel? Does it allow me to provide a consistent experience in doing that? Can I automate the remedial stuff? Can it start to automate more complex things? And is this like the right business that starts to go and do that? And again, that's our opportunity and story that we are out there telling. And again, I think it's like pushing the buyers to say like now is the time to think about these different platforms that are next generation. I think they have can offer a ton of value. I think they are really thinking about like delivery of ROI as quickly as possible.
I agree. I think that if done right, it's going to reduce total customer service operations costs. It's going to improve the agent experience, which, that can affect attrition, right? It's going to improve efficiency. It's going to improve self-service. It's going to improve so many areas of the company. And the funny thing is that, we'll use Front as an example. If someone's not using a solution like Front, they're actually paying more money to have what they have now, to have that Frankenstein multi-siloed customer care approach or engagement approach, where customers, you know, re- re- interactions are taking longer than they
Yep.
need to. It's more difficult to resolve a customer issue.
Yep.
You're not able to measure the quality, and so when we look at just because we say resolving an interaction, is it resolving it in a way that the customer is really pleased with and not? And if not, how can we fix that? So being able to do all this, it improves every aspect of customer operations, reduces costs, and the best part is companies are paying more right now
Yep.
not to have it.
Yep.
So the choice to move on to a platform like Front and gain all the advantages we've talked about it just makes so much sense, dollars and cents, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Good pun not intended, but great pun. Yeah,
Yeah.
great pun. But yeah, that's as I said, like why I got really excited about this opportunity in the market is I think there is the save dollars, drive efficiency, save dollars on your tech stack, save dollars on labor costs, and provide holistically a better experience to drive revenue for your business. And I think all of that stuff you can measure within this platform.
That's awesome. Well, we're CloudTecher is super proud to be a front partner and distributor, and certainly we have a lot of really satisfied customers on front now, and I'm sure we'll have a lot more in 2026. And excited to watch your continued evolution and watch the platform get even more and more capable. So. Really exciting, and I'm super glad you were able to join me here today and enlighten our viewers on what's out there, what's possible, the art of the possible with
I
Front.
love I love it. Well, thanks for having me, Darren. You guys have been fantastic partners, and I offer anybody that's watching this, like, I'm always happy to chat, whether and be available, get involved, and help them pitch our product and help deliver our message. So please don't overthink like ever reaching out to. I'm always happy to engage with the community and as I said, help deliver revenue for everybody.
Awesome. Well, thanks again for joining us. Enjoy the rest of your day and your weekend, and we'll talk soon.
You too. Thanks again, Darren.
Take care. Bye bye.